morning to you, St. Lucia. Let me tell you, I love where I'm at right now. We're at the St. Mary's College because something very amazing is taking place, and this is a tremendous opportunity for the youth. It is the District 2 Career Exhibition. And let me tell you, I had to practice how to make sure I did not say career showcase because this is something very different. So I have two lovely ladies here with me, so I'm going to have them introduce themselves.
Miss Kayla Lay, school counselor at Sir Ira Simmons Secondary School.
And I am Miss York. I'm the school guidance counselor at Castries Comprehensive Secondary School.
All right, so this is something that they have in common, and as you can tell, maybe that's a hint right there for you. This is being facilitated by the District 2 counselors. So I know this is about, 3 to 4 years already?
This is our third year, and it's actually coordinated by the District 2 counseling team. So that consists of our district counselor, the 4 school guidance counselors, and then 3 teachers assigned to the counseling department.
Great. Now, just for anybody who doesn't know, can you just let us know the schools that make up District 2?
Sure. So the secondary schools that make up District 2 are Sir Ira Simmons Secondary School, Castries Comprehensive Secondary School, Vidbote Secondary School, and St. Mary's College.
All right, perfect. So, Ms. York, just tell us about this initiative. And of course, 3 years already in the making. It's definitely grown. But what keeps you guys doing this for the students?
Well, part of our priorities as school guidance counselors is that we need to get the career guidance disseminated through all the students who are at subject selection level, and we need to make sure that it's reinforced at school leaving level. And so usually we do this for just the Form 2s or 3s who are about to choose their subjects. But this year, because we have Education USA on board, they've been a fantastic sponsor and a fantastic addition to the show. The event, and they really were interested in having the older students come in as well so that they know what opportunities are out there for them. And so instead of us doing everything apart and having the same people try to come in and speak and the same people try to access our students, we decided to pool our resources and pool our efforts. And so we've been doing this for the past 3 years, and it's a challenge. But fortunately, we have a larger team than most districts, and so we really are able to pull from each other.
Now, I've really seen District 2 being active in terms of you all as the counselors. I've recently started following the Instagram page. I was like, District 2 counselors? So, but this is keeping me up to date with what's happening, and I think that's also really impressive. And I can't help but say you guys have a dynamic team as well, too.
Thank you. We really appreciate that. And I think part of our push to integrate into social media was to reach out to the students and show them that school counselors aren't only there when you have a problem, but we can be a great resource in general in terms of, social resources, emotional resources. Again, this fair is an example of the assistance we can give in terms of career guidance and so on. And really just to let people see what we do as a team and how we engage with our larger community. So thank you for following us.
You're welcome. Now, speaking of the students, what was the feedback like, as students walked in and, just the interaction with the different persons participating today?
I can say from what I've seen, we've had an amazing turnout, and the students have been, in general, really excited. They come in and they see all the booths set up. They want to engage. They want to speak with the presenters. They like the little tokens, the giveaways. Some of our booths have even done little games. For example, SLASPA had like a little wheel the students could spin to win a prize. Other booths engage them by having them answer questions for little tokens and so on. So I think in general, when the students come in and they start to mingle and see what every booth has to offer, they were generally really excited and happy with the event.
Well, this one is a little bit more personal, but for you being a guidance counselor, what is it that you enjoy about what you're doing? Because we know this is not an easy career path. And of course, to have persons doing it, you need people who are dedicated and love what they're doing.
For me, I think that just helping the students to sort of see their way clear out of their adolescent period and into their adulthood is something that really helps me to feel like I'm doing something. Because a lot of the time, the adults around them looking back don't quite realize that they were children too once. And so for me, it seems like I'm some sort of intermediary between the kids who just want to see the here and now and the adults who are telling them you need to look into the future. And so you accept them and embrace them in the now and try to guide them and show them you have to see your way clear. You have to try at least,
Very true. And well, Kayla, I'll ask you the same question. What do you enjoy about what you do?
For me, I think the kids really are the reason that I continue to do my job. As a school counselor, you encounter a lot of difficulties, setbacks, lack of resources sometimes. But I think just seeing the positive change that you make in a child's life, it really motivates you to get up in the morning and to go to work despite all the little hiccups you encounter.
Great. Well, at this point, we really have to thank all the participants, the sponsors. So is there anybody that you'd like to highlight?
Sure. We've got Business Focus St. Lucia. They are our silver sponsor, and we've got CARFA, so that's the Caribbean Public Health Agency. They are a bronze sponsor. We've got C.O. Williams Construction, which is also a bronze sponsor, and the St. Lucia Teachers Union. We've also got Digicel, who has made sure that we had wireless internet for the event, and Cream and Bean, who have sponsored our event coffee station.
I'll also add Goddard Catering Company, who joined with an extra special donation to help us along, and also our main event sponsor, the U.S. Embassy Barbados. They came along with Education USA as their representative, but they are really responsible for the financial aid. So we just want to thank them again for their support and for their help with the activity.
All right. Well, you know what? I want to say a special good morning to everybody viewing today, any guidance counselors as well who are tuned in. So we salute you guys for the work that you do. And of course, this initiative is really amazing. So I'm looking forward to see what the Big Four is going to look like. And before we close off, just let everybody know how they can follow you all, because they're on social media.
Perfect. So you can reach us on our Instagram page, District 2, the number 2, Counselors. That's COUNSELLORS on Instagram.
All right, perfect. So this is a wrap for today. And of course, we're wishing everybody an amazing Friday. Go out there, be amazing. And of course, keep following the work that they're doing. And if you want to join and you want to support, now you know how you can be part of that. So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Buenos dias, Santa Lucia. That means good morning, St. Lucia in Spanish. And maybe you're wondering why I'm greeting you this way, but we are at the Cuban Embassy. And I have the pleasure of being here with the Cuban ambassador. So we have Mr. Alejandro Simancas Marin.
Exactly.
All right, good.
Exactly.
I'm very happy I said it properly. How are you today?
Very well. Buenos dias. Good morning, Santa Lucia.
Good stuff.
It's a pleasure to have this possibility to address to the San Lucia people, which we consider a brother people to Cuba.
Great. And you know, when we think of Cuba, I'm sure many of us are longing to go there, longing to visit. Most of us may know certain things about the culture, like the great food, the music, salsa dancing. And Cuba is home to so many great things. It's a beautiful island, just like St. Lucia, and of course with a rich culture, rich in the arts. So let's enlighten St. Lucia today. We're talking all about Cuba, so that way, of course, hopefully at the end of this, maybe we'll be planning trips to be there very soon. So what do you want to share with St. Lucia about your country?
No, first our vision to the Caribbean, and particularly to the San Lucian, is that this is our family. We belong to the same family. We consider even more than friends. When we talk about the principles of our relationship, we always said that our relationship is based on the friendship, the solidarity, and cooperation. Mm-hmm. And this is the most important. This is because our family is this one, the Caribbean, San Lucian, and coming from that consideration, we always will be ready to work intensively, to be fully committed in order to strengthen our bilateral relationship and from our humble capabilities to contribute to the development of San Lucia in all the possible ways.
Great. And, you know, even when you say that, we, I think, off the top of our heads, can see some similarities. You know, Cuba has beautiful beaches, the flowers, the flora, the fauna. So there's quite a few things I think St. Lucia and Cuba have in common. But let's talk a little bit about Cuban culture and just what makes it so interesting. So where do you want to start with the Cuban culture?
No, very quickly. Cuba is bigger island. San Lucia is a little smaller, but we are very, very similar. Not only the nature, the plants, the beaches, which are wonderful. But I think we have the same people and a common history and a common interest here in the Caribbean. So talking about Cuba, Cuba is a country of culture, a country with a deep history, a country which is trying to build a society according to the principles and the concept that we consider more humans, more based on the principle of equality, the social justice, and of course coming always from the base of our history, of our culture, of our tradition, which is the base. As you said, well, Cuba is a very rich country in his roots, in his cultural roots. And it's very well known about as you said, the dancing, salsa, music. But I even think that it's even more than that, because for the last 60 years, the possibilities for the education of the people, and particularly the possibility for the education in general, and particularly for the education in the cultural ways, according to all the cultural institutions from different levels, from primary cultural centers to the University of High Arts. The culture has reached a very high level in Cuba.
Well, I haven't been to Cuba yet, so now I'm going to put that on my bucket list because I feel like it's going to be an experience of a lifetime. And just before we wrap up, just to share more with St. Lucia, we'll quickly touch on a few, national symbols of Cuba. So, first of all, for anybody who doesn't know, the capital of Cuba is?
Havana.
All right. And what is Cuba's national food?
The Cuban national food is related, of course, to our history. It is composed mainly of black beans, white rice, and pork. And of course, the same thing you have here: banana, sweet potatoes, and vegetables. This is mainly the Cuban food, and particularly the things we use, particularly in the eve of the New Year. It's a family meeting, a family party, and the pork and the black beans, the rice are mandatory.
Before we go to, I know we were talking about this off camera. We also share something similar. The national plant for Cuba, you said it was the royal palm, right?
The national tree
national tree
is the royal palm. The royal palm, which is in San Lucia too.
Yes.
And the national flower is a very nice black, white flower, which is here too. We call it in Cuba mariposa, which means butterfly. It's a white flower with a very strong and nice smell. So a very strong and nice aroma. It's very correct. So, and we have also a national bird, like in San Lucia, the San Lucian parrot.
Right.
We have, this is a bird which is a kind of parrot, but not exactly a parrot. But it has some symbolic that, because it's our national bird, it has the colors of our flag, so the red, the white, and the blue. And also it's a bird which cannot live in cage, so it needs freedom to live. He has to be free.
I want to thank you very much for taking the time out to just tell us a little bit about your country, your people, and for being here and just sharing these relations. So, St. Lucia, we need to make sure we visit Cuba. But in the meantime, there's so much still so close to home. So come experience salsa here in St. Lucia. Come and start learning Spanish. These are all our preparations for when we take that trip to Cuba. And then we fully enjoy that experience. So thank you so much again.
Thanks to you. Thank you to you a lot. And so thanks to the San Lucian people for all the hospitality, the friendship that we have found here from the same beginning when me with my family we arrived. Thanks a lot.
You are welcome. De nada. You see, so I'm still practicing some Spanish. Hopefully, my Spanish teacher is a little bit proud of me. But by the next time I think we meet up, we should all be a little bit more fluent in Spanish and getting ready for
I am
that.
sure. I am sure.
All right. Well, you know what? That's enough of that. So we're taking it on the lighter side. And of course, you can go and find out as much as you want about Cuba. Of course, you can make a stop here at the embassy to find out any further information that you'd like. So thank you again. And St. Lucia, we will definitely bring you more.